Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peeps that make the thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae. All right, good morning. Welcome to the Day with Trae. My name is Omari Salisbury, filling in for my A1, my way back, my partner, my best friend, Trae Holiday, who's getting some much needed time off. And man, hopefully she's getting out of this weather, because I'm telling you, man, this rain and clouds has been depressing. We got a great show lined up for you today. Before we hop into it, though, I know like on some of our other platforms here, you guys have been following the election and the election results last week. It's a lot to unpack there. We're not talking about that this morning, though, but we do appreciate all the feedback, man. You know, our sites have just kind of been inundated with traffic, whether it's pictures or articles, video, and everything else. It kind of really shows that you guys are appreciating our election coverage. And now that the election is over, we're not so spread out. We start focusing in on these individual candidates, man, and seeing what they're going to deliver and how they're going to deliver for us and everything else. So also big shout out to everybody who voted, excuse me, and especially here in the city of Seattle or wherever you voted. But if you're here in the city of Seattle, now you see. We say every year, we're like, yeah, your vote counts, your vote matters. People want to play it to the side. We made all these commercials and everything. Go vote, go vote. Oh, man, my vote don't count. Well, my friend, this year for mayor for the city of Seattle, your vote counted. Or for all of you guys that didn't vote, which was a ton of people, man, you were the difference. So if you voted for Wilson, then your vote was the difference. Man, if you didn't vote for Harold, your vote was the difference. Either way, where the city gets ready to bring in Mayor-elect Katie Wilson, did some interviews with, spoke with her briefly last week. And as we prepare to say goodbye to Mayor Harold, and now for the fourth mayor in a row, there's no second term. It says a lot about who we are here in the city as well, man. Maybe, you know, we ain't got the patience for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Either you in or you out, or the mayor just chooses not to run again or something of that sort. So, excuse me. All that being said, we got a fantastic show lined up for you today. You know, here at Converge, we're all about the uplift. My pops used to say it all the time, make the uplift real, and especially when it comes to uplifting our interns. And you guys know we got a strong intern pipeline here, and some of the names that you've heard over the years have come through our internship pipeline. Curtis Delgado II, who's the host of Almost the Weekend, and then Ike Everard, who's now down in Nashville, Tennessee. You have Emma Switchenberg, who's back at the UW now, running like their social content over there. Lorcan Stokes, Meade Gill. And today we're going to be talking to my good friend, Elizah Rendorio.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's good to be here. You know, you've been working out. You know, you've actually had a lot of big stories. You've had one of the biggest stories of this year, as far as traffic and viewership and everything else. Throw it out there. You're at the University of Washington.
Yes.
You're a senior in the School of like Communications.
Yes.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so I'm, like you said, I'm a senior at the University of Washington. I'm studying journalism, but I'm also minoring in business administration. But I've been interning here for this past fall quarter, and it's been amazing. I feel like I've learned so much about how to report different kinds of stories. And, you know, I've mostly done like political stuff, but getting to dive into learning how to do the Support Black Business campaigns and really know how to really connect and immerse myself in communities has been really, really fun.
All right, that's good stuff. You know, we got some music stuff for you too, by the way. If you want to do some
Really?
music, yeah.
I would love to.
Listen, Eric Calligraphy got to stack this high of artists. They've been waiting for us to talk to them on everything else. And before we get into some of the stories that you reported on, you know, why did you choose Converge? Because you actually had to apply. You know, you selected us. What stood out to you?
Well, I heard about Converge actually through Emma. Me and Emma are really good friends. We did an internship together before. But she was talking so much about working with you guys and how great this community has been for her. And so once I saw that you guys had the opportunity to do it through my department, I immediately was like, okay, I'm going to apply as well. You guys are so dedicated to, you know, making sure that you're uplifting your communities and giving back to your people. And that's something that I've loved and grown passionate about through the field of journalism. Like, while, you know, holding people accountable, being the watchdog is something that we do, my favorite part is just talking to people, working with people, finding new stories about communities that you don't really get to see through the mainstream. And this outlet is so dedicated to that, and that's what I love doing. Like, that's my favorite part of it all. So that is the biggest reason why I wanted to work and apply for this internship.
Yeah, well, man, we're happy to have you. All right, so we're going to talk about a few things that you've been up to here. The first was Island Soul and Island Soul's call for help. I think we got that up there, the Island Soul. So tell us what was going on with Island Soul. You wrote this article, and by the way, the article for our platform, it broke the platform. I mean, the story just went viral everywhere, and we really got lots of readership across the country. So tell us about it.
Yeah, well, so Theo Martin, who was the owner and founder of Island Soul, located in Central District, is facing some financial challenges. They had a counterpart store called Arlena opened up in Kirkland that had to close due to unfortunate financial circumstances as well. I think they faced a lot of rent hikes that made it hard for them to keep up. So after their closure in Kirkland, that over there kind of created significant financial strain for them to keep operating Island Soul in the Central District. And so they were facing, you know, risk of foreclosure from the bank. And, you know, we reached out to them to do a profile on Island Soul. And it was great. I got to talk to Theo directly about his story, about how it's become a family-owned business from, you know, his father's barbecue joint to what it is now, and how it's become such a staple to the Central District community. I also got to talk to a bunch of his customers, his very loyal customers. I had multiple people like flood my inbox of reasons why they loved Island Soul, and going through all those messages was such heartwarming to hear. And it was just like a great experience learning about a restaurant that I personally didn't know of before, but seeing how many people like fell in love and love this place and go there on the daily. It was just really nice. It brought like a whole new light to me, I feel like, about Central District and the Seattle community.
So now, as your editor, I only have one correction for you, because you know these people serious about their neighborhoods.
Oh, yes.
So I consider that Columbia City.
Columbia City.
Yeah, no, it's
Yes, I'm so sorry.
There you go. See, on air apology. That's the best thing you can do. But yeah, it's in, you know, the story that you helped amplify is that the bank is trying to take it all. They want him to sell his current building and even sell his home, and so he's trying to seek relief from that, and actually put a GoFundMe and things in the article, right?
Yes. He was just not even just asking for like support, but just help finding solutions in order to, you know, navigate how to work with the bank. You know, because for him, it's like they know that they're not like, you know, how can I articulate this? For him, it's important that they're not just asking for help or asking to receive money, but like finding a way where community can come together in order to save something that's so special to them.
Right. Theo has a long history of supporting community, to be honest with you. And it was many, many moons ago. I actually came back from the East Coast. So I was living in Virginia Beach. But me and my family came back and couldn't find a job, and he had a staffing company, which he still has right now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and I couldn't find a job. And Theo said, "Man, just come out with me." And actually, the company is located in Kent, and I lived in the Central District. Man, he'd give me a ride down there every day. You know what I'm saying? And to get me to a point to get on my feet. And so, you know, I'm glad that we're able to get the word out and make people aware of what's going on in Island. So I got a feeling you might be checking back in with him in a few months and seeing how it's going.
Yes, he gave me a call like immediately after the story was published, and just, you know, was thanking us Converge Media for producing that story, and that was incredibly rewarding to hear. So yes, everybody go check out Island Soul.
Oh, there it is. Now the next one here, we won't be able to hear it here, but the viewers will be able to see and hear it. But the next thing I want to talk about was that you did a follow-up from King County's very first Crime Survivor Summit, and you had an opportunity to actually interview King County Council Member Claudia Balducci. So let's play that tape right now. We'll come right back.
This is the first ever Survivor Summit. There's survivors here that have dealt with all different kinds of crime.
Crime survivors are not getting many resources. There's no programs for them. This is a space where people can come together and talk about how we can push our local governments to do better, and what, as a community, how we can come together and just support one another.
They bring you to tears, especially when it comes to a lot of the legal side. The legal aspect can take so long, and it can be so frustrating and hard to navigate.
Meaningful interventions so that we don't see this happen over and over again.
To prioritize not just their voices, but their calls to action on what more we need to be doing. Community people, government entities, people in high power positions, what they can do to make change.
And we have lost so many people in our community and knew so many parents in our community that were suffering the same situation that we were. Any survivor, whether it's me or anyone else, has the opportunity to share the truth of their actual experience.
It's powerful testimony, and it does make somebody in a position like mine feel just like we need to go back to work and figure out how we do better for the folks who need us. Just being there for people and lifting them up. As government, we need to do our job to make sure that we're providing services that people and survivors need.
All right, Eliza. So right there, people saw like a snippet of that story. The whole story is actually about 5 minutes long. I actually shot that one. I really thought that it was important for the survivors of crime to actually be uplifted. And now you had an opportunity to follow up with Council Member Claudia Balducci, represents like Bellevue and a lot of the East Side, and actually put an article together. I think Eric probably has an overlay of that too. So tell us what that was like.
Yeah, so I had the opportunity to interview directly with King County candidate Claudia Balducci, and it was great. I interviewed her right here in this studio. It was a quick, asked a couple questions, and she gave really good responses, saying that she is committed to making sure that supporters and survivors of those of violent crime are getting the resources that they need. And, beyond Councilmember Balducci, I was able to talk to a lot of victim advocates. So I was able to talk to Tiffany Attrill, who was in attendance at the summit, and she was a great person to talk to. She gave me so much information and guidance on, the direction of the story and how important it was for these survivors, that these, public elected officials are actually keeping true to their word about, making sure that they're considered in all of these decision makings when it comes to public safety. And I even got the opportunity to talk to one of the attendees at the summit. Her name is Charlene Kearns, and she's the mother of a son who was unfortunately a victim of violent crime. And talking to her and hearing about her experience navigating through the judicial system, which can be very traumatizing and difficult to navigate as someone who, has never had to do that before, especially for someone who's grieving, was, very insightful and inspiring, and it made me put a lot of my hard work into writing that follow-up, just to making sure that not only are we keeping these elected officials accountable, but showing that voices of the survivors and families of those who were affected by violent crime are in the center.
No, that's what's up. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. It's almost impossible for a real sincere person to be in that space and really talk to survivors of crime and advocates and everything else, and not come away with a different perspective or understanding. Yeah. And so, you talked to Balducci. One we won't hit on today, but I know that you're also talking to Councilmember Joy Hollingsworth.
Yes,
Look at you. I
yes.
mean, you're talking to all the electeds. But the next one that
Yes.
we do have is that you got to sit down last week with Seattle City Council member Deborah Juarez, who she's a council member right now. Her previously she was council president,
Yes.
and she's in this spot right now because the last council member for D5 decided that she didn't want to do it anymore. I think that was more, and so Juarez was appointed, and Juarez was actually here right in July, and I spoke to Juarez. But you had a chance to speak to her last week.
Yes.
What was that all about?
Well, this one was different. I've talked to a lot of state lawmakers before, but talking to Councilmember Juarez felt very much, it just felt more like I really wanted to make sure that this went well. Like, I was very dedicated to making sure that I came in prepared and that I was flexible with wherever the conversation was going, because I knew that this position meant more to her than just, serving as a council member. But, like in your previous interview, she was talking about how she wanted to find her higher calling. And so I really wanted to kind of explore that in that conversation more and see like how she's trying to navigate that now, like returned back into her seat. And the whole conversation was so insightful. She talked so much about what young leaders and young people who aspire to be in these positions, should look for and should do, and how to be a good leader. We had a really good conversation about being curious about who you are. And someone who comes from, immigrant parents, I'm a first generation student, it's like I know very well about being dismissive to your origins and to your background, just to, fit in with the people here and people, like when you go to a predominantly white institution like I did in high school, how to like kind of not be super curious about your background. But the fact that she was emphasizing to embrace that and to embrace who you are and like the culture that you're in or that you're from was really, really inspiring from someone in elected position to hear. Like, I thought that was a great part of our conversation. And so I honestly was a little bit intimidated to doing that interview, but like you said, it was just like talking to an auntie. She was great, she was amazing, and yeah, like I don't really know what else to say because she was just great. She
Yeah,
was
and
a
you
great
got
person
some
to
nice.
talk to.
Were you able to put those pictures up here? Okay, so everybody's like, a big shout out to Jordan Summers.
Yes.
And came in and got some snaps for you, so that's a big good. It's not every day. I mean, and even whether you talk to somebody like David Croman from the Seattle Times or different journalists that cover City Hall, it's not very often that you get to sit down
Yes.
with a city council member one-on-one.
Especially in person.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can connect with them on a different level when you're in person. So that's why I was really going into that interview with 18 bajillion questions prepared. And so, yeah, I put a lot of pressure on myself in that interview, but that's just because, she's a very, very, really interesting and important person, and I wanted to make sure she knew that from my end as well.
All right, fantastic. All right, and the last one up, this has been our longest running campaign maybe ever at Converge, and definitely this year, is that we tasked you to, from an objective lens,
Yes.
to talk about the Support Black Business campaign. And this Support Black Business campaign started right here almost a year ago when it was me, Eric, and Basa sitting back there, and we see all these black businesses going out of business. It's like, what can we do to help? Now, I know you've been talking to people, making
Yes,
phone calls,
yes.
researching. Man, what can you tell us about our Support Black Business campaign?
Well, the Converge's Support Black Business campaign basically uses our unique storytelling skills to not just uplift these Black businesses, but tell the stories about the people behind who run them, increase foot traffic and try to help them secure, essential revenue that they need in order to make sure that their business is sustained and maintained. And it's impacted so many businesses across Seattle. I've talked to, I believe, like 6 different business owners for this article, and they've all said such amazing things about how this campaign has helped them not only just like increase, their visibility and credibility in the community, but also just give an accessible way to ask for help during these difficult financial times. As you know, our economy is not, in the best shape as it used to be or ever really was. And so having a media outlet very much dedicated to just being honest and transparent about these struggles while also uplifting them and finding ways and finding solutions has just been incredible for not just, the economy for these Black-owned businesses, but just as a community in general, making sure that we can rely on each other and have a network of support while, we navigate these very difficult and unprecedented times.
All right, good stuff. How many weeks you got left?
Well, I believe I have 4 weeks left. 4 weeks left.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Oh, all right, time's running out.
I know. But, I can stay here if you want.
Well, that's all I needed to hear. I'm about to say is like, at Converge, it's really interesting with our interns, with so many people. This is always home.
Yes.
And a lot of businesses and a lot of internships can't really say that. But for us, this is always home. Emma hit us today, be like, "What's up?" We be like, "Okay, what's happening?" or all of these guys. But the best thing for us is to see you young people come in, and our job is to be a springboard. Our job is, to create space, grace, and opportunity, and then also do our very best to prepare you for what's next in your life. And I'm glad, we've had this opportunity to work with you and to continue to work with you too. Man, you out there telling important stories.
Yeah.
And some of these stories, almost all of them wouldn't be told without you. Like if you weren't, we just didn't have the resource for it. We wouldn't have been able to tell it in such a great way that you have. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Maury. Thank you.
Now, before we let you go, you can look in that camera right there and tell people if they could follow your work.
Yes. So if you guys want to follow me on a more professional level, you can, follow the LinkedIn, Elizah Rendorio, but also personally, you can follow my Instagram. It's Elizah Lourdes V Rendorio.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, now we're going to get back to writing, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right, you stay right there. We're off to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap it up. You're watching The Day with Trae.
What better way to spend a Saturday than celebrating Black history? Join the Seattle Public Library on Saturday, December 13th at the Douglas Truth Branch to commemorate the 50th anniversary of its community chosen name, honoring Frederick Douglass and Sojourner Truth. We will see you there.
Hey, you want some
Ain't the same.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Acts on Stage presents Detroit 67. This award-winning story chronicles a family having a house party while the city is on fire, and a country dancing to the new sound as it finds itself in the dust of one of the most explosive periods in American history. It seems like it's all coming together and falling apart.
Talking that slick talk with me when I've been drinking?
I'm not trying to cause you any trouble.
You've been this whole time as a bunch of trouble.
What the hell you doing in the truck?
This Seattle debut runs November 14th to the 23rd at Acts on Stage Theater. Get down with the get down of Detroit 67.
In Seattle, it's more than just coffee. It's community. At the station, we brew more than just your favorite cup. We brew connection. From Beacon Hill to Columbia City, we're a space for artists, activists, and everyone in between. A place to gather, create, and simply be. Whether you need a quiet place to work, a lively spot to meet friends, or just a moment to unwind, find your place at the station. More than coffee, it's home. Visit us in Beacon Hill or Columbia City. The station, where community happens.
All right, welcome back to the day with Trae. You know, we got so many shows over. I keep it a buck though. Like, we're definitely not gonna cut. We're not gonna be like, oh, count me in again and everything else. That's a blessing. Look how many shows I got bouncing around in my head right now. You feel me? Like, it's amazing. But look, we're gonna get out of here for today. But tomorrow, a fantastic show lined up. Tuesday, we've got Dr. Jason Clark, Executive Director for Northwest Credible Messenger, in the building. Going to talk about all the work that they've been doing, especially like the barber and beauty shop program, the peer counseling program. We talked about that a lot earlier this year, and also see what's on the horizon with them. So, and then on Wednesday, we've actually got Gabe Galanda, indigenous rights lawyer. You guys might remember Gabe, and his fight was the impetus for our Emmy-nominated film. I picked up an Emmy nomination earlier this year, Nooksack 306, where we talked about the enrollment of the Nooksack tribal members up on the Nooksack reservation near Bellingham. So he'll also be here later on this week as well. So really, really good week. Excited for it. And man, on that note, I'm gonna get out of here. Go forward. No, I'm not cutting. Well, we're right. No, you'll keep it. You keep it. Anyways, I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow. We having too much fun behind the set. I'm out of here. Peace.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences.